Hello people of the internet, thank you for watching this video. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. Let's just dive into it. Let's just get into it. 1 Timothy chapter 4, Paul tells Timothy the do's and don'ts evangelini. He tells Timothy into makazenze namakangazenzi evangelini. Just to give you context about Paul, Paul is a man of God. Paul is the greatest preacher. Paul is a seasoned preacher. The dude is well versed when it comes to intos evangeli, intos the gospel, going around preaching the gospel. The dude is well versed. Paul knows the ins and outs evangeli. Paul knows the highs and lows of the gospel. He have seen it all as umshumayeli wevangeli. In today's language, besizawuthi Paul sithi yinja yegame. Sithi Paul ibhoza, sithi abantu phuma emabhozeni uzolimala. He's that type of guy, Paul. Paul knows the good living at Lydia's house. He knows the warmth of ubushushu at Lydia's house. He knows amaqithiqithi that comes with being a man of God. Paul also knows the afflictions and the sufferings that comes with being a follower of Christ. As a gospel preacher, someone who has traveled all over the place preaching the gospel, uhlangane nezinto wadibana nezinto. Behlangana ne-small talks apho kuthethwa khona ngabazalwane, kuthiwa izinto zenza ngcono, kuba dilo tse diketsa ngcono, dilo tse asifuna uphangela ngamavili ezinto ezi. All kind of talks ngabazalwane uhlangene nazo Paul. Hlangana nazo kwendawo ahamba kuzo. I'm sure he walked into places apho bashumayela the best teachings at here, this is it. And he also walked into places abashumayela ivangeli lincane bashumayela ama-Kellogg's, and he felt like he wasted his time. As an experienced preacher, as a seasoned preacher now, he tells Timothy, mhlekazi, sikhona ozodibana nazo kwevangelini. Nazi into mawuzenze, nazi into mawungazenza apha evangelini. Chapter 4, verse 16, Paul tells Timothy, my guy, watch your life and watch your doctrine very closely. It's going to save you, and it's going to save your hearers, the people who are listening to it. He says, apha evangelini ibalulekile indlela oziphatha ngayo. Ubomi bomzalwane, ubomi bepreacher, bomshumayeli, beleader, it is very important in ministry. I-reputation yomzalwane, yomshumayeli, leader travels a long way in the ministry. He says, my dude, preach the gospel with your actions. Ungawasebenzisa kamagama when it's necessary. You can use words when it's, but preach the gospel with your actions. Don't be the tata endukuthethayo, tata endukushumayelayo, uyeke ondukwenzayo type of preacher. Ibalulekile i-lifestyle oyiphilayo. Your reputation is very important in the ministry, Timothy. I tell you, as Paul, as a person who've traveled all over the place and seen it all, your life, it's very important. Watch your life. Your lifestyle, indlela oziphethe ngayo nophila ngayo evangeli. Dude, you can't live reckless. Uphile nje mdaka. And then starts to preach about how abazalwane bazi gossipers bahleba ngakhona when they start to talk about your reckless living. When they start being concerned about your reckless living, and now you start going around preaching, and every time a message is about how be ngabahlebi bezi gossipers. That's not the way to do it. Your reputation, your life is important in the ministry. And he says, watch your doctrine. the way you see God, and the way you preach God, and the way you present the gospel to the people, it's very important as well. It is very important. What kind of message are you giving people about the gospel? How you see God, it's very important. That's why it's important to make sure that the good doctrine, a good gospel is always preached behind the pulpit. Kubalulekile that a good doctrine, a sound doctrine, is always preached behind the pulpit. Everything else can be broken in the church. Everything else can be a mess in the church, from ushering to everything to worship team. But if the doctrine, if the gospel they're preaching is sound and life-giving, people will always stay at the church. A preacher will make or break a church nge-lifestyle ayiphilayo nangevangeli ayishumayelayo. Paul tells Timothy, these two are very important, my brother. They are very important. Watch close your life and your doctrine. Watch it very closely. And I say today to every preacher, watch your life and watch your doctrine very closely. It's going to save you and your hearers. Shalom.